Welcome to European Railway, the DVD magazine for the continental enthusiast. In this programme we travel to Germany and the busy freight lines around Oberhausen. Swiss mainline and narrow gauge action, Belgian freight and rush hour passenger activity. A French hotspot to the east of Metz. A look at trains along the Main Valley in Germany. And a profile of trains to be seen along the Swiss main line between Brieg and Lausanne. We begin the programme with a visit to the busy rail lines around the industrial heartland of Germany, around Oberhausen, where numerous private operators can be seen, as well as the more common DB Schenker trains. We chose 3 locations where a good variety of traffic can be seen. The first location is just west of Osterfeld Süd station, as Duisport rail operated Class 203 diesel number 007 is seen with a short eastbound container train. Around 20 Class 225 diesels are allocated to DB Schenker's Oberhausen depot, where they mainly work on steel trains. Here 225011 and 150 approach the camera. Our filming location is on a partly built footbridge situated on Hofmannstrasse just to the west of Osterfeld Süd yard. During our visit, traffic levels totalled around 12 movements each hour. Prignitzer Eisenbahn is a private operator which runs passenger trains between Duisburg and Dorsten via Oberhausen. Most services are operated using Class 643 diesel units, such as seen here. As expected, Class 66s also appear here. This one, number 66452, is in charge of a train carrying Opel car components. Our location is very close to the Oberhausen gasometer, the largest disc-type gas holder in Europe. Although no longer used, it is part of the area's industrial heritage and today acts as an exhibition centre. Returning from Oberhausen Yard is 294853. We now move 12 kilometres to the northeast and to the town of Gelsenkirchen, where the local rail firm RBH uses the yard for its trains that serve nearby customers. Seen approaching the camera on the line from Bottrop is one of RBH's 1984 built centre cab electric locos, number 13. The company operates a network of largely single-track lines around the area, serving local collieries and heavy industry. They also run on local DB tracks, as we will see a little later on. During our visit we saw two movements in the 90 minutes we were there, which included the locomotives running around their trains. Some 5 kilometres to the southwest is Bottrop Zuid, which is situated on the freight-only line from Oosterveld Yard to Dortmund. Heading west we see MRCE hire loco number 500-1592, a Vossloh G1700 design. The loco is currently on hire to HSL Logistics, a company originally started by a group of ex-DB drivers. RBH also run along these DB tracks, as seen here. Finally, we leave you with this shot of preserved German V201 number 221117. This loco belongs to EFW, a company set up by German rail fans, and is used on rail tours throughout the year, as well as earning its keep on engineers' trains, as seen here. In this section we travel to the north of the country to observe traffic on one of the main lines from Lausanne in the south to Zurich and Basel in the north. The town of Niederbipp is situated on the south flank of the Jura Mountains and lies in the canton of Bern. It has a population close to 4,000. Approaching the station from the south is class AE66 number 11427 with train number 50635 from Lausanne to Zurich. Arriving soon after is a meter gauge electric unit on a service from Solothurn to Langenthal. As soon as one train arrives on the meter gauge lines, then another departs. This one is bound for Solothurn. Shortly afterwards, two BLS Re4s number 182 and 177 travel south. Unit number 560067 arrives with a service from Langenthal to Olten. (11277) and 11241 are seen paired up on train 50638, the 1818 from Zurich's Limmatal yard to Lausanne. This train operates from Monday to Friday. In this view, the 1935 from Olten to BL arrives with locomotive number 11300, providing the power on the back of the train. (11338 and 11288) head this freight train from BL. Freight services through here were around 2 or 3 each way per hour during our evening stopover. (11315) heads train 90565, the 1833 postal service from Denderleeuw. The company that operates the passenger trains on the local meter gauge network, Zeeland Mobil, also operate the station shunter for operations in and around the town, including a section of dual track down to a factory at Buchel. Also seen here is the transfer track that allows standard gauge wagons to switch to the narrow gauge network by way of special transporter wagons. Class 460 are in charge of most of the express passenger services on the line. Here 460-109 heads train IR 2141 from Biel to Zurich. The RE66 locos, once the mainstay of the more mountainous routes in the country, are much more common on less graded routes since the withdrawal and storing of several examples of the Class AE66 fleet. In our final scene, number 11674 slows with this northbound service. The time is just after 9 o'clock. We now move to Belgium and to the town of Denderleeuw, which is situated just to the west of Brussels. It is a busy location positioned on a number of main lines to the west, including the route to Ghent and onwards to Ostend. There is also an avoiding line around the town, which sees around 6 services an hour used by fast trains on the section between Brussels and Ghent. Even so, the amount of traffic through the town is still high. We are located on a strip of land to the west of the station, which offers good views, particularly of trains heading west. Our first view shows Class 21 electrics number 2130 and 2159 heading east at around 3:30 on the afternoon of 18th of June 2009. The route also sees a number of the older electric multiple unit designs, such as seen here with this AM63 series unit, together with a refurbished example arriving with a local service for Brussels. Class 23 electrics were still hard at work on peak hour passenger services during our visit. Here 2304 departs with an empty coaching stock working for Ghent. Parallel departures here as AM70 unit number 651 heads the 1604 service to Ghent. The other train is formed of a pair of AM63 series units, numbers 221 and 204, both in their original livery. Well, if you can ignore the graffiti, that is. During the rush hour period, local haul trains are commonplace, with Class 21, 23 and 27 being commonly used. Since these pictures were taken, many of the Class 23 electrics have been stored, as freight traffic has plummeted as a result of the economic downturn. This pair are about to back onto a northbound empty steel train. Some trains are formed of type M5 double-deck stock, as seen here behind locomotive number 2108. During such a busy time, freight trains are held in the yard for suitable paths to become available. Departing with a trainload of empty steel wagons are 2603 and 2608 as they head out towards Yent. More modern double-deck stock is seen in this view as 2705 powers at the rear of this northbound service. Class AM96 provide more variety of trains to be seen here, as 562 and 568 head north with a service for Paupelringe. Finally, we see 2348 heading commuter train P8906 from Schaerbeek to Oudenaarde. Northeast France is a good area to study the different aspects of the country's railways, where a mixture of state-owned and privately owned trains can be seen. In this section we study late afternoon traffic on the main line just to the south of Nancy, before we journey north for the evening until Remilly, which is situated on the line from Metz out towards Saarbrücken. Approaching the camera are two brand new Z27500 3-car electric units, numbers 27817 and 27802, working the 1633 Nancy to Lunéville. These units were introduced as direct replacements of push-pull stock operated by 40-year-old BB 16500 locomotives. In the opposite direction, another class member in the shape of 27794, which is seen working the 1536 from Remiremont. The 27500 also come in a 4-car Grand Confort variety. This TGV is working the 1603 from Remiremont to Paris. Finally, number 16726 rounds the curve whilst working this commuter service from Épinal. We now move north to the station at Remilly. Here 26151 passes with train EC96 from Zurich to Brussels. Shortly after, 26140 powers from the rear of this train, seen coming off the Strasbourg line. The line from Saarbrücken through Forbach also joins this line at this point. It was at this time that trains were halted in the direction of Metz because of an incident on the line. 26140 and its train are seen stabled in the sidings after it was terminated due to the line problems. The first southbound train for nearly 2 hours are these diesel units, forming what we believe is the 1839 to Saarburg. With services slowly getting back to normal after the 2-hour-plus delays, 26140 takes its now empty train back to Strasbourg. Another train bound for Forbach has just left the station. It passes the rear few wagons of a DB Schenker Class 185 haul train, waiting to continue its journey through to Saarbrücken. Tri-voltage electric number 37047 slows with a container train it had hauled from Basel. It passes a sight that British enthusiasts will be all too familiar with. 66-240 restarts its train of cement tanks, which it will haul to the border station at Vorbach. Finally, as the last of the sun's rays shine down, number 37021 is seen with a container train bound for Mannheim in Germany. This is a seriously busy line that links northern and western Germany with Bavaria and onwards into Austria. It is a principal trunk route for freight as well as local passenger services. In this section we sample everyday traffic on a Monday morning, just to the south of the Spessart Hills, where the River Main cuts its route north. Our first scene shows DB Schenker's Class 185 number 060 on a set of southbound car empties. This is the site of the old Wernfeld station, which has since been moved around half a kilometre further south. The old station building is on the right. This is 203057. (146-241) heads the 1535 Würzburg to Frankfurt stopping service. 185048 heads train 42915 from Hamburg to Vienna. Freight trains were seen every few minutes, with passenger and freight activity almost continuous. Voith-built Maxima diesel number 264003 is seen with an empty train of biodiesel from Ingolstadt. You can't go anywhere these days without a Class 66 turning up. Here, PB03, belonging to CB Rail, is seen heading south with a container train from Rotterdam to Wels. Class 143s also appear here, usually in charge of Würzburg to Frankfurt services. Around 2 kilometres further south, the line curves to the east as it follows the Main Valley. Here, Class 185 number 185283 is seen on this tank train from Hanover to Ingolstadt. Tracking down the older freight locomotives in Germany is now much harder, with so many new locomotives now in traffic. However, they are still around, as in this view of 1970s built Class 151, number 151004, on an empty Ingolstadt to Speyer oil train. Private operator Westfälische Lands Eisenbahn's Vossloh G2000 locomotive, number WLE21, heads this container train from Warstein to München. With the local farmer's permission, we are now standing in one of the local vineyards as 152059 heads south with this mixed freight. Finally, in the other direction, this privately operated Class 231 heads a northbound set of empty stone hoppers. The main rail route from Brieg to Martigny and up to Lausanne follows the glacial valley of the River Rhône. There is an hourly intercity service that runs to and from Brieg, as well as local stopping services on the western part of the route around Martigny. We begin our journey from the Brieg end of the line, just west of Visp station, next to part of the new line recently opened through the Lochberg tunnel. 460-104 is in charge of the 0649 from Brieg to Romanshorn. Shortly afterwards, 460-077 follows, with train EN 316 to Geneva Airport. Note the sleeper stock on the rear of the train. We now move to Gampelsteig station and one of the few passenger trains on the route not operated by a Class 460. Re4 number 11204 passes by with the 0728 Brieg to Geneva. Between 0805 and 0830, freight train 60119, the 0514 from Lausanne to Brieg, calls to drop off wagons. Here, running around 15 minutes early, the train arrives behind 11654 and 11166. Acting as the station shunting locomotive is Class AE66, number 11446. Once the main train is out of the way, the loco propels the wagons down towards the yard. After completing its duties, the locomotive returns to the station. Moving west once more, we are at the close station at Grange-Lens, where 460.039 heads south and passes 460.101 travelling in the opposite direction. This is the station at Chrat-Fully. We are now at Martigny, a town with a population of around 15,000. Transport de Martigny et Région operate local rail services to Ossières and to Les Chables, using 3 of these RABE 527 3-car units dating from 2002. This is 460.024. Another of the TMR Class 527 units arrives from Orsières. We now move to the town of Bay, where the meter gauge Transport Public du Chablais line to Bretet begins its journey. Unit number 92, one of 3 of these Bombardier-built BEH-48 units dating from 2001, arrives with a terminating train. Back on the main line, number 460082 passes by the town's goods yard with a train for Geneva. Moving north once more now, and we are high up overlooking Lake Geneva, on the northern slope of the main line coming down from Fribourg. At this point the line from Brieg and Martigny is way below us, as it skirts around the edge of the lake. Here 11348 approaches the camera. Martigny and Bay, our previous locations, are now located way up the valley in the far distance. Looking across the lake, the views are amazing. The French town of Evian is seen some 20 kilometres away. This is the view from the platforms at Grand View station, looking down onto the lake and on upwards towards the Rhone Valley. Trains heading on the line up to Martigny can also be seen here. Heading for Zurich is 460-080. Finally, with the city of Lausanne in the far distance, and heading along past the lake through Luthry station, is this Class 460 on a working for Brieg. As we take in the magnificent views around this part of Switzerland, we would like to thank you for watching this edition of European Railway.